Perfection is one thing. Is that's what the Cowboys really need out of this draft. But let's listen to my guy from CBS.
Always looks like. In the first round, the Cowboys get the best receiver in the draft to pair with CeeDee Lamb and Arizona's Tytyroa McMillan, a.k.a. T-Mac. Pick 4.
All right, so first and foremost, you have your ex-receiver that can be on the outside for sure, and you can get back to playing X, Y, and Z football, meaning that CeeDee Lamb will be the Z, but then he can be the X too, and Lamb can line up anywhere on that line. But with Ted, of course, you got to defend the entirety of the field when he's out there because you still got to have a guy that can pretty much jump ball with him, so you can't put a smaller DB on him. Now, will the Cowboys figure out a way to get him open and everything? They don't have to worry about that because everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, Tupac, and Biggie will be all over see dangerous Lamb. So I could roll with that.
44. The Cowboys get some edge help with Olawufemi Oladejo, the edge rusher from UCLA.
Yeah. Now, he don't have a ton of game experiences on the edge, but we can look back at this and say, all right, you can't get wrong with too many edge rushers. My only thought would be, man, how many more edge rushers we need? You got Fowler, you got Sam Williams, you got Michael Parsons. You also have Tyrus Wheat, not saying that he's going to be the guy that's going to bust through a paper bag for you. Also, who else we got? Okay, Peyton Turner. We got some edges, right? So, but you can't have too many, right? And if we going to be that team that can rush 4 and drop 7 and all of this stuff, then that will be a good thing for us. But let's see what they say from here.
Who has great upside after only playing on the edge for 1 year and being super productive. Pick 76, the Cowboys add a running back in UCF's R.J. Harvey, who was one of the most productive backs in college football last year and has the speed to break long runs.
R.J. Harvey behind this particular team with Dak Prescott and being a rotational piece because that's what he's going to be, right? You got Javonte Williams. You will also have Miles Sanders, not Monroe, right? and Noah Berry, right? But Miles Sanders is a guy that's seeking new life, right? And, Carolina is where running backs and teams of players goes to die, right? So hopefully he get back to his good playing days, right, when he get over here. But if you mix in RJ and you have Miles Sanders, you have Deuce Vaughn, you will have Javonte Williams, you will have Hunter Luepke, and this team said that they want to get back to running the ball. That's the main thing. I can't get mad at it, right? So let's see what else you have.
Pick 149, they add some help in the trenches. With offensive tackle Carson Vincent, who will compete to be the swing tackle this year. Pick 174, Jabbar Muhammad is a versatile corner who can play.
Now, here's my thoughts. You got 15 offensive linemen. We got a lot of offensive linemen. Let's not sleep on Awesome Richards. Let's not sleep on Nate Thomas. Let's not sleep on some of the guys like the TJ Basses, the Brock Hoffman. You got all of those guys on this offensive line, the Robert Jones, the Sadiq Charles, and some other guy that we picked up, didn't play football in the last 2 years. I think his name is Hakeem, right? We got a lot of pieces, but if he's coming in to compete for that swing tackle role, we're going to do a lot of pull traps. We're going to do a lot of GT counters. We're going to be moving our feet around with this offensive line on the running aspect. And we should see some improvement from Tyler Guyton out of this whole situation. I'm not mad at it, but for the 149th pick, for him to come in to compete, good luck.
Play in the slot or on the outside. Pick 204.
Now the DB that he mentioned, I'm not mad at that with the 174th pick. Here's my thoughts with DBs. Boy, what I really want the Cowboys to do is to value that position and go get a veteran guy. We don't have time to have growing pains. Bland is in a contract year. I get all of that. On top of that, he's our veteran. He's literally our veteran. Now, Kaiir Elam, of course, former first-round draft pick. He wasn't very much looked upon when he was in Buffalo or what have you. So he's trying to reinvent himself here in Cowboys land. But let's make sure we have a parachute plan that's in process. Go and figure out a way to get a Jalen Ramsey. Go and figure out a way to not allow Gilly to leave the city of Dallas or the state of Texas. Well, don't go down there to Houston, but don't let him leave, right? Block off DFW, right, and Love Field. Let's not let this Gilly leave because you want to bring in some type of veteran guy so he can alleviate some things. Come on with it.
Aiden Priestcorn is a versatile tight end that can also play some H-back for you. Pick 211, Tim Smith.
A H-back, versatile tight end. We got that already. Shoot. We got Brevin Spanford, who improved last year, his rookie year, and didn't get the amount of opportunities that he should because of the quarterback play. But that's a whole nother conversation, right? And we saw improvement with that. You got a second-round draft pick. That's a premium pick, in my opinion, out of Schoonmaker. And then you got Jake Ferguson going into his contract year. I think that, and then John Stevens, whenever he gets back with his knees and everything, I think we're okay with tight end. I think we're okay. And if you want H-back play, that's what Hunter Lupke can do. Come on with it. All right, so that's another pick that I'm kind of like, I don't think that this would be the most perfect draft ever, but let's listen.
Smith is a developmental defensive tackle. Pick 217, Shiloh Sanders is a hard-hitting safety that can help on special teams.
Now, Shiloh, he can hit. He do got some good instincts. He's not the blazer of the speed guy. But if you get Shiloh in the later rounds, right, just don't give him 21. Oh, Carson already got that. Okay. But with Shiloh, I think that it won't be a bad situation. You want someone to fit on in, to play behind Dono, to play behind who else we have here? Wanye and them. I think Shiloh will fit right on in that secondary. On top of that, he will be a hell of a special teams guy too. So I wouldn't be mad. And then there's bloodlines. And then he's from Dallas. So I won't be mad at it. Marketing 101. Go ahead and get something that can bring some attention to the table and also fill seats as it relates to when we out there in Oxnard, right? Come on with it, Shiloh. Come on with it.
Pick 239, Xavier Truss gives you some depth in the interior of your offensive line. And pick
that will be offensive lineman number, I believe, 16, 17, 18-ish, right? We will have the most offensive line than any team in the National Football League, in my opinion. And that do exemplify the fact that this particular team is trying to run the ball. Because that's what Shotty said, right? And you got to have them to block up front.
247, Johnny Walker, not the drink, but the edge defender from Mizzou, is a developmental defensive end.
Now, that brother says Johnny Walker, not the drink. And I know somebody who loves Johnny Walker. They don't like it, they love it. And his name is Jerry Wayne Jones. And John Stephen Jones, they drink that Johnny Walker blue. That would be crazy. What a hell of a pick to be the last pick to be Johnny Walker, right? And that's crazy. That's wild energy. I would tell you guys that with all of this and everything being said, I don't think that that's the most perfect draft, but I can rock with it because of the Tet situation. R.J. Harvey, I like him. The UCLA kid, you know, I think that he, like he said, got high upside. But overall, Cowboy Nation, you know, got a little splashes of promo in there with Shiloh. And I appreciate him. And shout out to Prime, Time for Your Mind, you know. But I wouldn't put this draft as the perfect draft. But I can tell you, if you are in this space and if you can defend your pick on why you went with something, there's nothing else I can take away from that, right? As long as you can defend your pick. I can't wait. I can't wait until all of this is over with because I want us to talk about tangible things, not intangible. And we got one more day and we got this one weekend to talk about all of the guys that's really going to be on this team. But if any of those guys fall on this team, Kudos and credence to my guy from CBS of speaking of these things. Cowboy Nation, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. Let's continue to grind and shine. I can't wait for this season to kick off. Let's get it. DC for life, not for short. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. Peace.